This is for the wifeys and the wifeys only. If you don't identify as wife material, then keep scrolling. Do you ever wonder why guys go after women who are, you know, slightly less than you are, maybe in whatever department, like maybe they're not as attractive, don't have as much things going on, maybe not as wifey as you are? You're probably thinking to yourself, oh my God, like I'm doing well for myself. I have an established career. I'm beautiful. I have so much going for me. I've got goals. Why wouldn't someone want that?
That's a mystery.
I kind of feel like an idiot for not realizing this sooner. It just kind of hit me. But thanks to the modern woman's commandeering of the word wife, we have now seen the rise of a massive horde of Peggy Bundys. I mean, think about it. They all have a snobbish attitude, they have average looks, they openly disrespect men, they can't cook, won't clean, and they're looking to let themselves go and gain 50 pounds after establishing a legally binding financial contract with a man. And they think that somehow this is something a man wants in a woman for the long haul. She honestly does think this way, and much like Peggy, she's annoying, entitled, and will nag at her husband to get whatever she wants until he caves in just to shut her up. And modern women have convinced themselves that these are all the qualities that a man not only desires, but looks for in a woman who is ultimately going to fleece him in divorce court. So sure, where the hell do I sign up for that package?
I need you to know that this man's rejection towards you has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with you. Guys see a woman in her full potential, like full wifey, and he hasn't yet reached his full potential, like whether it be in his career or he hasn't reached his full potential in himself. He has still insecurities that he is hanging on to. He's gonna see you as a threat. He knows that if he is with you, he has to then become the best version of himself. And some men are just not ready to do that. They're not in the phase of their life where they want to be that husband material.
And let me know when Elvis gets here.
All right, here's a question for you, lady. If you're wife material, then why aren't you married? If you have all the qualities that men look for in a wife, then how come he hasn't sworn off all of the other women on planet Earth just for you? Why is it that men would rather spend 8 hours playing that paddleboard game with the rubber ball than consider letting you into his life? That answer is easy. Mastering the art of the paddleboard is a profound endeavor into a man's psyche. It teaches him precision, rhythm, and gives him a goal to accomplish. And I'm sure there's a man out there who's on the verge of a philosophical breakthrough because the game calms his nerves and allows him to find some inner peace, allowing him to think deeply. But you're not nearly as useful as the paddleboard game, sugar. You're more like a broken claw machine at the local putt-putt course. You take people's money and provide nothing in return except false hopes, broken dreams, and mockery. And men would rather put their tokens in a skee-ball machine to win some tickets to get a paddleboard game. How's that for goal setting?
And in a sense, it's almost emasculating to the man. This woman is in her full potential. I don't want someone who I'm with to be doing better than I am. So he is going to find another girl who is doing less than he is and you are, so that he feels better about himself. If this sounds like you, with all of that being said, leave the boys where they are at and find yourself a man who is actually ready and willing to take you on.
No.
I hate to break it to you, sister, but the only men willing to take you are simps, con artists, and people in a desperate need for citizenship. Men don't view the world the same way as you. We're actually realistic and normal. In the eyes of a self-respecting man, a woman's value comes from not just her looks, but also her qualities as a person. A man will dump a woman who's objectively gorgeous for an average woman if she's kind, peaceful, and knows the secret to making the world's greatest pancakes. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if you think that the franchise pancake joints that span multiple nations make the best pancakes, but I can also imagine your shock when Tyrone Crockett and Rico Chads leave your apartment and refuse to take you out to breakfast after 6 minutes of less than adequate bedroom fun, because that is the only part of you that's wife material, darling, and it is not worth it.
That's funny because it's so true.
It seems I've gone viral yet again on how to piss men off, so let's do a little refresher course. These are my favorite ways to piss off men from a retired crazy girl. Number 1, if there's a guy that I haven't seen for a while, I'm immediately gonna go, oh, I remember you taller. Number 2, if you happen to have a lot of this man's clothes, give them to a homeless guy that lives outside of this guy's apartment so that when he leaves his apartment, he'll see the homeless guy wearing his clothes, because now you're charitable and petty, 2 birds with 1 stone. Number 3, anytime this man says anything to you, you're just gonna say, whoa, you're getting kind of emotional right now. Like, let's pick this up when you're less emotional.
Great plan.
Thank you.
He likes your plan, Chief.
Imagine having a life with so much time on your hands that you think the wisest investment of that time is to imagine all the different ways that you're going to make men angry. And the list is kind of detailed to the point where she imagined the very specific scenarios for her to use this quote-unquote material. But here's the problem. Modern women wear their emotions on their sleeves worse than their god-awful tattoos. They have been given unlimited societal justification to act like children whenever their fifis have been hurt by Chad. So she conjures up all of these things that she's going to say to him to try to get under his skin. But come on, lady. You honestly don't expect us to believe that you said any of these things to a man before, and even if you did, you most likely screwed it up in the execution. And even if you didn't, there is no way a self-respecting man is actually going to get angry at the petty garbage you've just said. They'll most likely just shrug it off and walk away without responding, which will piss you off, and the guy didn't even have to say anything for that to happen.
Number 4, ask him if he wants your workout routine, because obviously you're so much hotter that he should be doing your leg day. Number 5, if your ex ever tries to slide back in, tries to DM you and ask you out again or whatever, you're just gonna say, do you have a humiliation fetish? And that one came from Kyle Brew. Can't take credit for that one, but it's fucking genius. Number 6, if a man ever asks about your body count, you ask about his bank account, because only one of those things is important. And you already know which one it is.
Show a little respect. So, how many men have you slept with?
Okay, great. We're on the same page. We both agree. Body count matters more. I know it's been a touchy subject, but you've made it clear as such. I mean, think about it. If your body count didn't matter, you'd proudly proclaim your number to the world. You would celebrate it because, after all, you said it yourself, body count doesn't matter. So it shouldn't bother you. But deep down, in the recesses of that dusty, fungus-infested void you call a brain, you know that it matters. And you know that your body count has completely messed up your head to the point where you're incapable of being able to feel emotions that don't revolve around anger, sadness, and envy. But it's a truth that you'll never admit to yourself. Doing so would require you to take some accountability for your actions, and you can't have that. Your main character syndrome will not allow for such trifles. Meanwhile, a man's personal financial status only matters to one person, and believe you me, sister, that person ain't you. Because if you're asking a man about his money, he's going to respond with a different kind of question.
Whatever you say. How much you cost, anyway?
Well, ain't that a nice way to talk to a lady?
Oh, I didn't know I was talking to a lady.
And lastly, number 7, if a man that I'm mad at asks me to hang out, I won't be like, oh, sorry, I have a date. Oh, sorry, I have other plans. I will just say, no, sorry, I want to stay home. I would rather stay home tonight. And I literally always say, no, sorry, I'd rather stay home and watch Twilight by myself. That's my line. And then I follow through with that, and I stay home and I watch Twilight, and I have the best night ever. Because obviously I'd rather do that than hang out with some loser man. But anyways, hope these help. Friendly reminder that single women are actually the happiest demographic of women. So if you're single, you stay winning. Okay, bye.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
Hold the phone this instant. Twilight is still a thing. People still make the active decision to watch Twilight? Now, why is it that garbage movies like Twilight get to withstand the test of time and have a shelf life that can only be compared to Nickelback, but the second I tell someone that the ninja rap is one of the coolest things to ever be committed to film, then all of a sudden, I'm the one who's clenching too hard onto the past? Well, you know what? No, screw that. If modern women are going to try to keep sparkly vampires alive, then I'm keeping the ninja rap alive, which is perfect when you think about it. If a modern woman or an ex ever texts you and you don't want to deal with their garbage, just tell her you'd rather hang out at home and rock out to the ninja rap. She'll think you're kidding, and she'll have no choice but to research it. And once she finds out that you'd rather jam to Vanilla Ice than hang out with her, then that is the moment that you've won. Go ninja, go ninja, go!
Guys, I'm getting ready to go to a wedding, but I wanted to show you guys my dress that I picked. The bride said that we could wear any color, including white, but I'm still like indecisive about my choice, so I haven't even removed the tag. The back is so beautiful. I love the details, the little flowers on it. So don't want her to get mad at me because I feel like this is a little too much. I don't know though. She said that we could wear literally anything in any color, so I haven't put on my jewelry yet, but I was thinking about doing a side braid with some gold earrings. I'm wearing my lace-up heels with them. I don't know if you guys can see them. But yeah. Like, what do you guys think? Should I wear this or no?
Yeah, when I look out over your sea of vacant faces, I feel like to puke.
You know what, in my profession, I've actually been to more than my fair share of weddings, and I've always been a firm believer that a wedding isn't a wedding unless it involves some kind of a back alley brawl. And what better way to show that you're willing to throw away your life like getting into a fight with the most important day of your soon-to-be ex-wife? But, woman, if I'm being honest, you're going at it the wrong way. Wearing a wedding dress to someone else's wedding is not going to start a brawl. It's going to start a bloodbath by blades. And I suppose I could understand why you'd want something like that. You're a miserable aging shrew with no romantic prospects and nothing to offer a man that he cannot provide for himself. And thanks to your incapability of being able to experience any form of joy in your life, the only way you can feel anything is to ensure that everyone around you is as miserable or even more miserable than you. But if you're asking me, you're kind of trying too hard. I'm going to strongly advise you wear something a little less form-fitting so you can hide a few more weapons on you. Considering your lack of common sense, you would not last very long in a blade fight, that's for sure.
You know that. Of course I do, sir. Everybody knows that. Of course we do, sir.
So is this a red flag? I think that it is, but my friends say that I'm the one in the wrong on this one, and I just don't get it. So I meet this guy on Hinge. We've been going out on a few dates. I really like him, really sweet. We seem to really connect. I'm also in the process of moving out and having my own place in a little bit. So I'm kind of like thinking about furniture. And then I also really want to have like a little mini garden on the balcony. I'm not going to have a backyard. It is an apartment. So it just has to be like little things that I can grow like on my balcony basically. And things that are hard to kill because I kill things.
That's nothing to be proud of, Rusty.
Well, if you're going on social media and openly admitting to the fact that you openly take the lives of other living things, then yes, that is a bit of a red flag. Now, in her eyes, this is just a cute little joke and shouldn't be taken literally. But if a man were to say the same thing, even in jest, she would take him literally and complain about how he shouldn't be allowed to have pets or children and how he's an evil, toxic misogynist and how the entire planet is out to oppress her because a guy once asked her about sandwiches 2 years ago. But I digress. There's plenty of easy-to-grow plants out there that are incredibly hardy and won't die unless you put in a significant amount of regret. But something tells me this woman couldn't take care of a mint plant or a peace lily or even one of those fake plastic plants that you see at real estate showings if her life depended on it.
So I'm telling my date about this and he's like, we should go to Home Depot next time we hang out and I'd love to help, you know, get some stuff. I'm like, it's really sweet. Like, I don't go to Home Depot, like I'm just a girl, but if you want to go with me, totally fine. So we go to Home Depot and on the way there, he's like, what type of stuff do you think you're wanting in your garden? And I'm like, well, little things, like maybe some like basil, maybe like a little tomato plant, maybe some pickles. And he kind of like starts laughing and I'm like, I don't know why that's funny, but okay. So then we get to Home Depot, we find a guy that works in the garden center and I'm telling him what I'm looking for. I'm like, I'm looking for basil seeds, tomato seeds, and pickle seeds. And the Home Depot guy starts laughing as well.
You know, it just goes to show that we cannot give modern women the benefit of any form of doubt when it comes to basic knowledge, especially in the field of food preservation, apparently. These are the same kinds of people who think that oat milk is just ground up oatmeal filtered through tap water. So the idea of a modern woman having no idea how pickling works really isn't that far of a stretch. And yes, men are going to chuckle at the idea of you growing pickles because pickles aren't grown. They are, in fact, made. And this is common knowledge, and much like common sense, it's something you clearly lack, which again, I'm not all that surprised. You spent your entire life not having to be responsible for any form of knowledge. And personally, I think if you know how to read, that'd be nothing short of a bloody miracle. You know what, gentlemen and gents, I'm calling it. I got me 50 intergalactic space bucks right here that says that this woman has a master's degree. I honestly think it's easy money at this point. I got any takers out there?
And at this point, I'm like, I don't know what what is so funny, and I'm feeling really like silly and stupid. And so I finally asked, I'm like, why is that funny? I don't get it, because he laughed in the car here too. And they're like, there's no such thing as pickle seeds. And I know that there is. So I feel like he's gaslighting me and trying to make me feel stupid, which in the beginning of a relationship, I feel like is a red flag. I don't want to be with someone that thinks it's funny to make me feel stupid. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar. Failure is your destiny. You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
Oh my god, you poor little brain-damaged penguin. I hate to break it to you, sister, but nobody's making you feel stupid. You are just naturally dumb. But maybe we should be thankful for that. Let's say you do find out about pickling, and the next thing you know, you're trying it out for yourself. And during your little foray into trying to make brine, you'll end up discovering a new form of nerve gas that you'll end up selling and bragging about how much money you made on the internet. And what you've created will ultimately land in the hands of some disgruntled Marines who will take a whole bunch of hostages on Alcatraz Island and threaten to nerve gas San Francisco if they don't get a substantial ransom. As much as I love the movie The Rock, I really don't need it happening in real life. I got enough problems as it is. So do America a favor, woman, and don't learn how to pickle. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button. Ring the notification bell and leave a couple of comments and share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.